Are new cooling measures on the horizon? 2024 ended strongly for the residential real estate market. Full-year HDB prices increased 9.6%, while the new launch market recorded strong sales in October and November across multiple launches, with some developments such as Emerald of Katong and Chuan Park recording strong sales over the launch weekend. This is despite having multiple launches in November. In 2025, the momentum has thus far carried on, with the ORI selling 86% of its 777 units over the launch weekend. Naturally, this has sparked speculation on whether the market is getting overheated and whether the government would step in to introduce new cooling measures to cool the market. So this is what the video will try to address. First, let's take a look at the history of cooling measures. I put out price and transaction volume data for the condo resale market in blue and the HDB resale market in red, for as long as I have the data for. The respective line charts represent prices, while the bar charts represent transaction volumes. The cooling measures are indicated with a C on the horizontal axis. Now, there could be multiple cooling measures in a specific year, but for the purpose of our next illustration, this will not have an impact. Cooling measures were first introduced in 2010 with the introduction of seller stamp duty and a lowering of the loan-to-value ratio for bank loans from 90% to 80%. Despite the multiple rounds of cooling measures introduced from 2010 to 2012, prices in both markets still continued to rise. This, however, changed drastically in 2013 with the introduction of the total debt servicing ratio and the reduction of the mortgage servicing ratio for HDBs to 30%, amidst other cooling measures such as increasing the additional buyer's stamp duty. Compared to the previous years, this combination of cooling measures seem to have had the strongest impact on reducing price increases, with both markets seeing minimal increase or even decline in the subsequent years. Since more cooling measures were introduced between 2017 to 2024, prices for both markets have still been on a general upward trend. So the results of cooling measures have been that broadly, prices have still continued to increase over time. What is arguable, however, is perhaps the introduction of cooling measures has helped to slow down the price increase compared to if there were no cooling measures in the first place. So what is the latest perspective from the government? In the middle of January, Minister Desmond Lee explained that the government is not adverse to more property cooling measures but will wait for current ones to work. He was referencing the 4 sets of cooling measures introduced since 2021 and also cited how they have increased supply for new homes both through BTOs in the public market and government land sales in the private market. He also mentioned about how the government does not want to overcorrect the market, as that could cause a sharper market downturn than what most homeowners would expect. Often when we talk about prices, we tend to focus on the purchase side, as buyers hope to purchase a property at a discount if prices drop. However, what is also important is to consider from the homeowner's perspective. Rising property values create a wealth effect for all property owners, which is beneficial especially as property values represent a significant portion of someone's savings. Imagine if the market experiences a downturn just like what we have seen in China. Erosion of savings not just creates a decreasing wealth effect, but it could lead to spillovers such as confidence in the general economy. This also has political as well as very real economic implications for the government as well as society at large. Now, the fear of overcorrections comes from challenges in the global economic environment, mainly from Trump's presidency and the potential spillover effects from actions of the current US administration. So barring any significant increase from the transaction data in the first quarter of 2025, it seems like the government is holding the reins for now on future cooling measures. But should they decide to implement more cooling measures, then what? Cooling measures for the most part seem to have slowed the price growth instead of causing homes to become cheaper. The government has also acknowledged that they have to strike a balance between maintaining a sustainable price growth without overcorrecting the market. Now, if I were to classify the existing cooling measures into whether or not it directly targets the buyer or the seller, this is what the table would look like. A bulk of cooling measures have been targeted towards buyers instead of sellers in the market. If history were to serve as a yardstick, any future cooling measures would likely continue to be targeted towards buyers. What does this mean for future buyers? With the government cautious about overcorrecting the market, combined with future cooling measures likely targeting buyers, one has to ask if waiting for the next cooling measure is the right strategy. Betting on cooling measures causing market prices to drop is a bet on the government's miscalculation. Any downturn from the property market would more likely be due to incomes, unemployment rate, population growth, and to some degree interest rates in Singapore, given that we have robust regulations ensuring that buyers are not over-leveraged. As long as these structural factors are strong, expect cooling measures to dampen price growth at best. Any hope that cooling measures will cause a market downturn is a bet on the government's miscalculations. So if you found this video useful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this. Check out some of my other works here, and I'll see you in the next one.